what happened to Jungkook and Jimin? It's the last few minutes before the end of the race to get the ball rolling. Jungkook and Jimin's enlistment period is almost over. But precisely in their last days, the atmosphere at the headquarters became more and more different. Not because of the heavy burden of duty, but because secretly, there is something they prepare together, something that even seniors and their peers did not know. The usually cheerful Jungkook begins to look brooding often. Jimin, who had always been light in speech, suddenly became quieter. The night before the scheduled release, Jungkook and Jimin were seen walking together in the courtyard of the headquarters. They brought a small piece of paper that they both read. Their faces are serious, but sometimes smile a little, like keeping a secret that only the two of them understand. Several soldiers who saw them at the time admitted that Jungkook's gaze on Jimin was so deep and unusual. Not just as a friend, but as if there is a heavy feeling that cannot be said. Even reportedly, when one of the seniors asked what they were talking about, Jungkook simply replied, "Just wait. The world will know tomorrow." The sentence then became a hot topic among the soldiers for the rest of the night. That morning, the military headquarters was crowded with officers, reporters, and several representatives from HYB who came to pick up Jungkook and Jimin. As with the usual procedure, the discharge ceremony is performed with great honor. But there was one moment that left everyone speechless. When Jungkook's name was called to officially complete his service, he did not immediately step forward. He turned first to Jimin, looking at him for a few seconds as if asking for permission, as if he wanted to make sure that his steps did indeed have to be with this person. Jimin smiled a little and nodded slowly. They were simple moments, yet for the person who understood them, the gaze was more than enough to make the heart flutter. Some of the officers present there claimed to be goosebumps at the brief interaction. Even one of their seniors delivered in an interview, "There is something unspoken between them," as if they were talking in silence. After the ceremony was over, all thought they were going straight to HYB's headquarters. But apparently, in the car that took them outside, Jungkook and Jimin opened a live broadcast on Weverse without management approval. "Army, we don't want to wait for tomorrow. We have to say this today, right now," Jungkook said in a soft voice. Jimin sat next to her, clutching a piece of paper that turned out to be the lyrics to a song they wrote together while in the military. "We wrote this song for you, for every second we spent without you. This has been our secret all along." The broadcast was a big shock because they played pieces of songs that no one had ever heard. The song contains very emotional lyrics. "Even if time separates us, I will walk back to you. I can't live without your shadow beside me." Armies around the world instantly thronged the live chat. HYB was confused. The broadcast was not on the official schedule, but because the Army's reaction was overwhelming, the agency finally decided to release the song as a special surprise without a long promotion process. Korean and international media immediately discussed Jungkook and Jimin's spontaneous decision. They praised the courage of the two BTS members who still maintain an emotional connection with fans even without formal permission. Many said that their actions proved how sincere the bond between BTS and ARMY is. They don't just come home as idols, they come home as family. That night, in a small meeting with the media, Jungkook delivered a single sentence that made the entire army cry. "We wrote the song to make sure that no distance can separate us from you. We never really left. We're always here." Jimin added with a trembling voice, "For 2 years, I've often wondered, are you still there? But today I saw the answer. You stay here. Thank you." The atmosphere becomes very emotional. Journalists, HYB staff, and even some fans who were present virtually admitted that they could not hold back tears. 4 days after Jungkook and Jimin were officially released from the military, the world really seemed to be ignited by a fire that had been just waiting for the time to explode. Airports, TV stations, and all digital platforms never stopped talking about them. That day, HYB finally announced something long awaited. BTS will perform in full for the first time after enlistment in a special concert titled "The Eternal Promise" was broadcast worldwide. ARMY exploded. Unopened concert tickets alone have made the sales server almost paralyzed. Everyone wants to be a witness to history, to see BTS back together, to see Jungkook and Jimin, who are now maturing, getting closer, getting real, during the preparation for the concert. Some of HYB's staff began to leak small moments that made ARMY even more moved. Jungkook, who used to play a lot during training, now looks more serious. But what makes people touched? Every time he finished training, the first step he always took was approaching Jimin. "Hyung, are you tired? I can take your place if you need a break." And Jimin, who usually smiles and resists, sometimes just looks at Jungkook for a long time, then whispers, "As long as you're here, I'm fine." The staff who heard it were silent. They realize their relationship is no longer just a bromance polished by the media. There's real bonding, there's comfort, there's caring for each other that can't be made up. The day of the concert arrived. Thousands of people thronged the stadium, and millions more watched from all over the world. The cheers did not stop echoing, and when BTS finally appeared complete on stage, the atmosphere became hysterical. But there is one moment that is not written in the script of the show. In the middle of the concert, after they performed hit songs, Jungkook suddenly stopped his steps. He looked at Jimin, then called him to stand in the middle of the stage together. "Hyung, I haven't had a chance to say this in front of everyone yet." Jungkook's voice trembled. "For 2 years, I realized one thing. You are my home. You're where I come back from." Silent stadium. Jimin smiled slowly, looked down for a moment, then looked at Jungkook. "I have something for you too." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small crumpled piece of paper, the lyrics of a secret song they wrote in the military. Jimin opened the microphone and sang a snippet of the song live, his soft voice echoing throughout the stadium. "We don't have time to prove. My heart will never leave you. I am silence. I am always with you." Jungkook looked down, his eyes glazed over. He covered his face with his hands, tried to hold back the tears, but finally gave up. He cried on stage, in front of an army of millions, without shame. The army was crying with him. It wasn't just a concert. It was a confession. It was a promise that had been hidden in their gazes. After the concert, HYB confirmed that the song, which they sang spontaneously, would be released as a special single titled Home. Jungkook and Jimin will produce the song together, and they decided not to promote the song through variety shows or major TV shows. Jungkook said in a Weverse broadcast, "This song is too personal. We want you to listen to it quietly, maybe when you're alone. Because this song is our conversation and yours." Jimin added, "Not all love should be announced massively. Some love is quite felt in silence." ARMY around the world again flooded social media with messages full of emotion. They knew that Jungkook and Jimin's bond was not something that could be measured in words. BTS is back. Jungkook and Jimin, who for 2 years harbored longing, finally able to walk side by side again on stage, in life, and in the hearts of millions of ARMY. What happened in the last seconds before the draft ended was shocking. But it is precisely from there that we learn that some things do not need to be said with 1,000 words. Just one look, one song, one hug, and maybe, as Jungkook said, we are all on our way home, to a place where our hearts are at ease. And for me, that house is Jimin. Their story is not finished. Because for Jikook, the journey always starts anew every day. The last few minutes before the race was over were full of surprises. Not just about the release of Service, not just about a new song, but about how Jungkook and Jimin proved that they always carry the ARMY with them every step of the way. What did they do in those last minutes? Deep gazes, secret songs that are broadcast suddenly. And heartwarming messages will always be part of the long story of BTS and ARMY, because in the end, even though time separated them, their hearts never parted. And those moments are what make the world know that Jikook's story never really ends.